I bought this wood without knowing anything about it. It's called Black Limba. I saw it on sale on exoticwoodstone.com and ordered it on impulse. Did some research and it turns out it's highly prized by both woodturners and guitar makers for its figure and grain. Some variants of the species of Black Limba can have respiratory or skin irritation issues, so I need to be mindful of that. And of course, my wife got involved. Stay to the end. You'll have to pick a side between rock and roll or country. It's adorable and you've got to see it. Somebody asked me why I tap the top of the bowl with a tool. I'm listening for flat spots to see if it's round. If the tool bounces, if it makes a thumping noise, then there's a flat spot and it's not round. If it's nice and smooth, then I have a nice round bowl. I am really liking this wood. It's cutting very nicely. Off camera, I put a line there for a tenon so that I have something to grab onto it with the chuck when I flip it around so I can hollow. You can see there I've got the shape really dialed in. Now I'm going to clean that foot up a little bit and maybe do a little bit of scraping so that I can move on to sanding and finish the outside. I'm drilling out for the token now on the bottom while it's mounted in the lathe, and it's easy. This also gives me a place to bring the tailstock up and to clamp into the bowl so I don't put a hole in the bottom and mark it. Now I'm going to add some shellac to seal the end grain. The more I use shellac, the more I like it. It's really kind of becoming my go-to sealant. If you like shellac and you use it, comment, tell me how you do it. There's a quick peek for the outside of the bowl. I'm going to move on to using my negative rake scraper to clean up some tool marks and get a nice clean finish. The other reason for this is I don't have to start sanding at 120. Maybe I'll start sanding at 180, trying to avoid any respiratory issues with this wood. With the scraping done, I move on to sanding. I'm going to go from 180 to 220, trying to minimize as much dust as possible. You can see the dust collector pulling that dust in right there. And I'm also wearing a mask, so I have double protection. I'm not worried about the respiratory component. I'm a little worried about skin irritation. So far, so good, but we'll see. I'm going to unscrew it from the worm chuck, flip it around and mount it in the Nova chuck because it's a better fit for the tenon. And disaster. I did not record the hollowing. So there it is, right about to do the hollowing. I swear I pressed record, but apparently I didn't. The computer doesn't lie. So we're going to jump to it already hollowed out. So now everybody's going to do me a favor and let's all close our eyes and pretend that we saw the hollowing. Now open your eyes. Look, oh, that went really fast. Thank you all. I really appreciate it. I'm going to scrape that inside with a negative rake scraper, and then we're going to add some shellac to seal the ingredient. Adding the shellac kind of brings the grain out in this wood. Again, another one of my favorite woods. I know I say it every time, but I mean it. I like this one too. It's another one of my favorites. Sanding from 180 to 220, trying to minimize the dust and, because I love to sand, so I'm really disappointed that I can't continue to sand. But here you can see the dust collector pulling all the dust in, and I'm wearing a mask. I'm really not worried about it. I'm not getting any skin irritation. It's not really that big of a deal, so all is good. Going to now switch to wet sanding it. I'm going to start with the gray pad, work my way up to white, and get a nice silky smooth finish. I don't use water when I wet sand. I use mineral spirits because I don't want to rust my lathe. And finally, we end up with the white, which is the highest grit. Gives me a nice finish. The mineral spirits really makes it shine, and it really makes it easy to see any lines. And you can see when I cut them off there that there's a paste made when you do that wet sanding with the mineral spirits. With the inside done, I flipped it and mounted it in the vacuum chuck. I'm going to clean the bottom up. The tenon has some tool marks on it from the chuck. Clean up a little extra stuff, then I'll sand it with 180, 220, then I'll move on to the wet sanding. Stay tuned to the end so you can decide which do you like better, the rock and roll or the country bowl. With the foot done, we're going to take it out of the vacuum chuck. There's a good look at my homemade vacuum chuck. It's a piece of PVC coupling with a piece of maple on either end and a special valve I got online. It mounts with a face plate onto the lathe. It works pretty well. If you have any questions, ask me in the comments. Each of my pieces are numbered, so I had somebody on Etsy print up a series of numbered tokens for me. I CA glue the token to the bottom. That also covers up any marring done when I held the piece against the vacuum chuck. I'm then going to add 3 coats of Waterlux gloss and lightly buff between each coat. And with 3 coats of Waterlux gloss on there, I'm going to move on to use the 3-inch wheel on the Be-All buffing system. I'm going to use the Tripoli and the diamond abrasive paste. Then I'll move on to some wax to give me a nice smooth finish. Okay, and this one is done, the black Limba bowl. I know I say it every time, but this time I really mean it. I love this black Limba. I love this wood. As usual, my wife has decorated the bowl. So we have 2. We have the rock and roll bird with his little fancy outfit and his electric guitar. And we have the country bird with his little acoustic guitar and his little hat. So let me know which one you like the best in the comments. And please like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you next time.